Hi everybody, it's Marie here, welcome back to my channel. Today's layout is using the Seize the Day project pack from Peartree Cutfiles, and today I'll be focusing on using this cut file, which is the porthole cut file. So what I've done is I measured the inside of the cut file. It's around 8 inches, and I decided to take a scenic shot that I'd taken when we visited the Isle of Skye. I think it's 2 years ago now, and I took this scenic shot that I'd taken from the back of the boat. We went on a boat trip, and this is one of the best shots we had. It was an absolutely glorious day. I mean, you can see there I am wearing a hat. It wasn't warm, but it was beautiful, and the scenery is absolutely stunning. So I really wanted to feature this photograph of the scenery. I'm not sure that I want any myself to be that big on a layout, but I do like the idea of having the scenery. So I filled the porthole with that view as if you were looking from the boat out the window, and that's the view that you saw. It was actually an open backed boat. It wasn't there wasn't any inside part to it, but that's the impression I wanted to give on the layout. Then what I've done is I've roughly maneuvered my pair of compasses to be a similar size circle to the porthole, and I've decided to do some smooshing and some watercolour sort of background here using my distress oxides and a whole load of water. So I've taken an acrylic stamping block. These are ones from Peartree. We've got some lovely ergonomic ones in the shop. Pressed the distress oxide onto it, sprayed some water on, and then either smooshed it on the page or let the ink drip from the acrylic block onto the page. So you get those big blobs. That's how you get those sort of big, that's one of the ways to get those big splashes of ink or colour onto your page. I've used 3 separate colours. We've got chipped sapphire, stormy sky and faded jeans, and those 3 just worked the best with my photograph. Now I am going a little bit off piste here. This isn't the stencil from the project pack. The stencil from the project pack is a compass, and it just was going to be, it's kind of too big to use maybe alongside this cut file. So I decided I just want some waves at the back. So I'm using this wavy stencil. Again, this one is in the shop if you want that stencil. It's a really subtle one, and I used a transparent gloss texture paste through that, so it's not massively obvious, but when you catch the layout in the light, it sparkles. I've used stormy sky here just to go round the outside of the cut file. It just looked a little bit too white, so I decided to go over the edges of it, just kind of starting on the glass mat and then smooshing onto the cut file so you don't get any harsh edges of ink. I'm just putting a whole load of foam now on the back of the cut file. Just sticking it on with glue. Normally this is adhesive foam, but these blue sheets just aren't adhesive. I don't know why. So double-sided sticky, a bit more glue, and then I'm going to position that right in the middle of the page. I know that most of that inking that I did is now covered up, but I did just want the impression of it. I did just want it to be sort of coming out from around the edges of the porthole, and that's exactly what it does in the end. So I had a lot of fun playing around with that ink. So I'm just backing my photograph now on some 49 and Market. This is the new Summer Porch collection, which I originally didn't buy, and then decided I really liked. So got quite a bit of it actually, and I'm really pleased I did. It's a beautiful collection. So what I wanted to do was also feature another photograph on the layout. So I've just got myself there, a little bit of foam on half of it. Because the porthole is propped up, only half of the photograph needs propping up on foam. So glue and foam on there. And then I've pulled a Sea La Vie title from my stash. Apologies again that is not part of the project pack. The reason I've chosen to do the Sea La Vie there for the title is it fit the best with my 2 photographs. And the other title that comes in the project pack I have lined up for another layout, and I really it didn't quite fit with these photographs. I wanted to use it on a different layout, so I have actually, so Seize the Day is going to feature on another layout in using the pack materials. So I've used a couple of the seagulls from the pack there. I'm actually going to put those directly onto the photo as if they're flying across the sky that you can see through the porthole. The C'est La Vie title just sits there really nicely next to my photograph, and I'm just now going through the chipboard ephemera from the pack, and now this is one of the rub-on sets. Again, this is all 49 in Market Summer Porch. And I'm just trying to decide what's going to go where. I've got one of the little word banners as well on the bottom of my photograph there. That one says vitamin C. It's a lovely bright blue colour. You did also see me a little while ago just pull out some alphas and write Isle of Skye up at the top. Now I wanted to put these rub-ons on. I was desperate to get these rub-ons on because they're really, really pretty. But with the watercolouring I've done in the background, it just wasn't necessary, and they were just going to get lost and you weren't going to see them, so I decided not to bother using those. These are washi stickers. Never had those before, but just found a little starfish there that looked really cute that I thought would work well just down at the bottom of my photograph. This is this small laser cut embellishments pack. I'm just trying to decide what to use. I loved this netting. I'm going to cut that to fit behind the photograph in a minute. And I liked this little starfish as well, so I'm pulling out a couple of little starfish. Just having a real good peruse of what's there. I try lots of different things. I try some darker blue things as well, but they don't quite work. Pulling out the larger set now. Found a little seahorse, he's cute. Another starfish, got that boat on there as well. And then I've put a little disc, you can see there, a little circle piece where the handle from the porthole is. Got a little anchor, and I loved that rope. I wasn't going to have anything down that left hand side, but that rope just seemed to work, so I just popped it off of the laser cut sheet and tried it, and I really liked the way it looked down there, so that's on there. I found these seagulls as rub-ons, but I decided just to use one because the other two looked like they were going to get lost on the layout and you weren't really going to see them. Just going to cut a little bit of that netting out there so it can fit behind the photo, and then I'm going to use the other bit that I've cut round about the boat. So just playing around with where things are going to sit. It doesn't need masses of ephemera because the main feature on here is obviously that big porthole with the giant photograph in the background, and I absolutely love how that kind of has turned out. So now just adding foam stickers to the backs of the bits of ephemera that I've chosen. So propping bits and pieces up, and then glossy accents on the back of any acrylic. So the seagulls are from the project pack, the little word banner is from the project pack, and so is the cut file from this layout. You could of course use, in the same way that I've used C'est La Vie, you could use either of the titles from the project pack. So we've got Seize the Day or we've got Ocean Vibes, and either one of those would work. Ocean Vibes is a blue colour, so that kind of got lost when I tried it on the ocean there. And the Seize the Day, like I said, I'd kind of earmarked that for another photograph that I've got. Just using my little tool there to do that rub on, and then a little bit of glue on that netting to make sure that that sticks down, and then getting a little foam pad again just to stick my anchor down, and popping the last few little bits up on foam pads. Now I do decide here, as you can see, just to pop a little bit of glossy accents on the back of these alphas. They weren't massively sticky, so just to prevent those falling off, I decided to add a little bit of glue. And there you go, there's the finished product, my layout. I hope this inspires you to use the porthole, maybe in a similar way to how I have done. Like I say, I love the effects. Thank you ever so much for watching. Check out the description box below for all the details on how to find all our different project packs from Peartree. And I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.